Woo-wee. Alrighty then. Well, here we go. Part 3. I know it's getting late for a lot of people out there. I know the MDT times doesn't really quite relate with a lot of the times that are out there. I know a lot of the followers I've got, some of them are from India, Middle East, and some of them are from Scotland, some of them are from UK. I got people from Australia and stuff. So I know that the timing isn't really the best for a lot of people, but I just want to say I appreciate everyone who's here and going forward. Anybody who stays, anyone who wants to speak, anyone who wants to get on the podium. This stage is yours, and I'm going to sit here, enjoy, and let you go. Let you go and do your thing. Oh, calm left. Are you here, calm? I don't see nobody. Oh, Laura. You're right beside Jenna, aren't you? I seen Chase was watching earlier, too. All right. Yes, very nice. Oh, you are here. What? I don't know why. There must be more people than what it's showing me because it's literally only showing me less people, but then I'm seeing there's more. So, all right, cool. You wanna jump on and do something, Carl? Um, Crystal Diamond sent me that piece of yours, the barbed wire. I forget what it's called. How's it going, no pal? I forget what it's called, but the one where you're talking about the barbed wire. Um, yeah. But anyways, I'm just gonna give it a minute. I'm gonna do a piece myself. I'm trying to perfect this one piece, so I'm gonna do it again. I don't know who missed it or who didn't earlier, but I think you're gonna like this one. You're listening, right? This one's called Lyrically, Poetically, Murderously Made to Be. I got a lot of things that I gotta get out of the gutter so my head's above water. So I rhyme like a stutter, like it's mind over matter. Even when writing a letter as I climb the ladder. Everybody will scour and scatter when they know who is better and making them sadder. Making it splatter when they shatter, spilling their bladder when they know they don't matter. Making a manly man manner standard and fighter to consider a quitter, committer, sitter like a knitter. From a manly jitter glitter hitter to a shitty shit shitter. Because I'm the real skitter and they're just a critter. I ain't no quitter, so I throw them out like glitter when they're bitter. And knowingly, bitterly, like an allergy, the analogy. I'm literally, cleverly, masterly, poetically a killer. I'm honestly, lyrically, a murderously interpreter. A literature, electric murderer. I'm a literature murderer, literally, murderously. I'm usually, genuinely, totally, poetically, a poeticality, totality, brutality, torturer. You won't hurt no more when you feel the blur right before you hit the floor. Because I'm a teacher to the creature, introduce you to the reaper. You'll be calling a preacher when you see my face feature. Facing me, racing me, tracing me makes you a sleeper. Don't be a creeper, because I am a leaper to taking you deeper. I am selfishly meant to be fearlessly the way you have fear in me helplessly, endlessly into your misery. It's your destiny where you will be if you fuck with me or my family. You will self-devour in your power while I empower like a tower, while you crouch and cower like a coward, like a cockroach under a sunflower. As if it's in my name to put you to shame like it's my superpower. Making your fame look lame, showing shame on your name and taking your willpower. With the way I reign, the way I domain like a meteor shower. Nothing you can gain with nothing to remain but accepting I'm the main, that's a no doubter. Or you go insane and be slain with what you encounter. That you are bitter and sour, making me louder. Leaving you nothing to powder. And I'll turn you to powder when I overpower. Taking you down like a whiskey sour at happy hour. But I'll do your misbehavior a favor as the failure slayer. And with your behavior, you better be good with your savior, or I'll show you greater. I turn every traitor and forsaker to vapor. I'm the pirate, the pilot, the faker taker, the captain, the captive sailor. I'm no escaper, I'm the educator. I'm the taker to your maker, the maker taker, introduce you to your creator. I do every labor from the death slayer to the life saver. It's just in my nature to be the legislator, to nurture the future like Mother Nature. I'm the Father Nature. To make you bigger as a seeker without a detour, no time to linger as a sinner thinker, can't be a free thinker as a screamer. I'm the gunslinger to turn a sprinter to a singer with just a finger on the trigger because I'm the bell ringer to your final dinner. To make you properly, protectively, probably, figuratively, potentially, fatherly, possibly, proudly a father figure. Man, I kept messing that up. I kept messing up. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I'm disappointed. Fuck, man, mention you. Made it for your podcast. Very enjoyable. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining. And if you want to speak, the stage is yours. The stage is yours. Honestly, I'm getting to the point where I can barely read the screen anymore. Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. Anybody want to come on? Anybody want to come on? You know, here, let me do one. If no one comes on. I haven't done this one. Oh, somebody's coming. No, oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. That's right. I've been waiting for this guy. Calm.pulse V. Trying to send a request. Is the request not working for people? I'm just wondering. That might be why so many people have left. Because, I mean, last time, I had a load of people last time. It was so long. Oh, I sent you an invite. You just gotta join it there. There we go. There we go. How's it going, man?
Doing all right, brother. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just chilling, just chilling.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. This is all new to me, man. I mean, I just started posting some of these poems on here like about 4 or 5 days ago, man. And
oh, really? Well, no better
amazed
time to start.
how many, I've kind of been writing off and on, like what you said earlier. You threw out a lot of your writings. You know, I did that too.
I didn't throw it out. I didn't throw it
did?
out. It was actually my ex-wife. She was so jealous at the fact that I had love poems from girls that never even seen them. You know, from my teenage years. And yeah, she ended up burning it on me.
Oh, that's, well.
Yeah, there was years of material that just went into flame. And that was like a secret, kind of like a secret journal type thing, you know? Like I was keeping a secret. I didn't tell nobody about it. And then here she goes finding it and burn it right up. Burn it right up.
Gives a whole new meaning to Hell Hath No Fury.
Yeah, hell hath no fury, man.
Yeah, man. No, I think the reason why I threw out a lot of my writings, it was, you know, going through a dark time, like, and a lot of us, I'm getting a lot of encouragement from a lot of people who are speaking about, you know, hearing what they went through and whatnot, and you know, I just started really thinking about when I was a kid, I had wrote a little small book and I had wrote some poems and things, and I got accused of what do they call it? Not copyright. When you're stealing other people's work.
Yeah, that's copyright. Copyright is, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got accused of that too with one of my quotes. I had no idea. I love Tupac. I love Tupac, but I ain't never like, you know, I never really looked into shit. So there's this thing. When I was a teenager, I tried to start this YouTube thing, which never ended up going anywhere. But I had this. The name of it was RWR. And anyways, it was Real Eyes Will Realize Real Lies. And then he has a quote that's realize, realize, realize. So it's so close. It's so close, except there's one word different. But somebody was trying to tell me a copyright. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I researched it, and I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I got a mind of the great. It was like, yeah. But that's when I found out Tupac was a poet before he was a rapper.
He was. He was.
Yeah. I didn't know that before. Yeah. That was pretty dope.
Yeah. Definitely a talented individual, taken too soon before his time. And what was it? Crystal? I believe his name was Crystal. Crystal Diamonds. Crystal Diamonds. Yeah, I've been communicating a little bit. He's a great poet, man. I told homie, I was like, I don't want to sound cliche, man, but I've been laying in bed before I'm laying in bed at night, and I've been listening to your poems at night, and I was like, bro, I feel like a young William Wallace laying in an earthy home
Yeah,
by the fire,
yeah.
reading them,
He
and
mentioned that, yeah.
completely, and that's what's great about this
Community.
community of poets, man. My
Yeah.
published author, and she's done a lot of the poetry circuit, and I used to go and watch her when we were in Santa Monica, but I was never really into it. I used to write things down, but this is really the first time I put myself out there, and I've only let a few of my friends read some of my stuff, and just because you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position.
Yes, yes. And you know what? That's exactly why. I know tons of people in the city I live in here, tons of people, but I've been staying to myself for the last over a year now. And out of all the people I know, there's barely anyone that actually supports me with this. There's a few, yes. But even some of my family, like, one of my uncles tells me straight up, he's like, I don't like poetry, right? And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. He's like, but you're good, he says. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking like he was about to say some shit, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, but he's like, but you're good, you're good. I was like, oh, okay, okay.
They don't know how
And
to.
yeah,
A lot of people, they don't know how to. I think putting yourself in a vulnerable position and expressing your inner deepest thoughts, people, unless you're really on that vibe, then he gave you the
exactly.
best opinion, or the best support that he knew how to.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what he was saying, is that he never expected it. This was the last thing he would ever expected. But I've been kind of like the troublesome kid as the younger years were portraying me, and
Yeah.
so that's kind of the reason why I got out of poetry. Because the first poem I ever wrote, I wrote it for English class in school, and I've made three teachers cry with that poem. But the first time I showed it was a teacher for this project. So it was a poetry project, and she had a list of 5 poems, and we had to choose one poem, and then we had to describe what we thought the poem meant. And I was being all cocky that day, and I told her, I said, these ain't even poems. And I was talking shit about the poems, right? And then she got all emotional. She's like, these are my favorite poems. And and I was like, well, shit. I was like, I could probably write a better poem than that.
Right?
And I've never written a poem before, right?
Yeah.
And anyways, she got all mad at me. She kicked me out of the class, and she told me, you won't be allowed back in the class tomorrow unless you come with a poem, right?
Right.
And I did. I showed up at school with a poem. I actually have it. Showed up at school with a poem about love. And as like what was I, a 14, 15-year-old kid or something like that. And anyway, she comes and she's all cocky, like, oh, I'm gonna show you, and she takes my paper, she reads it, she sits down, and all of a sudden she starts tearing a little bit. And then she gets to the end and she's kind of just crying, right? And then she pulls out a napkin, starts wiping her tears. And then one of my classmates was like, are you crying? And then she's like, ah, and fucking ran out the classroom.
Oh, man.
We didn't see her for like 20 minutes. Yeah.
I saw that happen a few times in a couple classes, man. I had some teachers break down, start crying. Hey, teachers, they got a tough job, but some of them, they do have to toughen the skin
Yeah.
up. I mean,
Well,
teenagers intimidate me. Little kids,
yeah.
elementary up to high school kids,
Oh,
they
those
intimidate me.
this guy's got balls, man. I was driving down this alleyway, and there's a group of teens coming from, I don't know, lunch break or something. But the motherfucker threw a fucking cup of something at me, like at my car. I think it was like a cup of Slurpee or something.
Oh yeah.
And I was driving by, dude. I slammed the brakes. I did it in reverse, and I floored it back. And then I was like, "Who the fuck did that?" And they were like, "Oh, wasn't me. It was like,
yeah, dude, I know, man. Hey, a little kid, they'll dismantle you, and they'll pick you apart while holding.
And they'll get away with it too.
Yeah, while holding their graham crackers and the juice in one hand, bro.
It's because Grandma and Grandpa are gonna be on their shoulder, going like, "Oh, no, he's a good boy."
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
I heard you're in Calgary, you said?
Yeah, I'm in Calgary, Alberta. That's where I live. Yeah, I'm originally from Belize.
Oh, okay. Colombia, Belize.
No, that Belize is Central America. That's right under Mexico, between Mexico and Guatemala.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a tiny little country. It's the only country still considered Central America. It's the only English-speaking country in South America.
Yeah. I met him a few times. My mother's father's from Guatemala.
Guatemala. All right, that's right by there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But, like I said, I met him a few times when I was a kid, and that was it.
Yeah.
Same thing
I
on my
speak.
father's side.
You,
Never.
so you got that half Spanish in you then?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
¿Hablas español?
No, man.
No. Okay. Okay.
It's unfortunately that's gonna probably pass with my father, man. None of the kids, none of us
Piece of
speak
shit.
it. My father, he speaks it, but I'm we're generational Spanish, Native American.
Yeah. Same. That's with me. I'm Spanish, German, and Mayan. So yeah, it's
Okay.
generational for sure. I speak 4 languages actually.
Damn.
Nice,
I speak
nice bunk
I
bed.
speak fluent sarcasm in English, man. That's it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I speak fucklish and fuckeringerish.
I speak fluent fuckery.
Fuckeriti.
Yeah.
He
So
is very nice.
I'm kind of all over with my poems. And the one that you were referring to was called Dope Game.
Dope game. Yeah. I just remembered the barbed wires because in Belize we got barbed wire everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been wrapped up in those a couple times. Huh?
Yeah. We'll
But yeah.
chop it more
Oh,
on
the
that, man. I bet that was
Coral
great.
Prestige in Belize. Oh, sorry, just 1 second. Yeah, actually, since the world's oldest and largest coral reef died in South Africa or whatever the hell that was, Belize actually has the largest coral reef now, the largest and oldest living coral reef. And she was just mentioning the water and the coral there.
Wow.
There was a 20 million year old coral reef that died because of the toxicity in the water.
I hate to hear that, man. I hate to hear that, man.
Yeah, that was what? Well, I think that was South Africa or something like that. I don't know where the fuck it was, somewhere. But yeah. But anyways, please go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I was just no, that's the only rap that I wrote, and I never meant it to be a rap. It was just meant to be a poem, but
Gee, that's the thing. That one poem, I kind of sucked at it here this last time I did it. But that lyrically, poetically, murderously made to be. So many people tell me
yeah,
that's like a rap. That's a rap. That's a rap. But to me, that's poetry. That's
yeah,
just, there's so many different kinds of poetry. But what poetry is how you express yourself. That's what poetry is. So it doesn't, if you call poetry, that's poetry, man. If somebody else calls it raps, well, rap it. I don't care. But it's
yeah.
poetry, to me,
Well, that's what it
I
turned
know.
into. It did turn into a rap.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So the when I wrote it, it was really from my experience of during the 1990s. We had an explosion of it was just the gangster rap era.
Hmm.
NWA, Death Row Records, even some of the lesser known the Chicano rappers at that time, Kid Frost, Funky X, lighter shade of brown. That was definitely the gangster era.
But that's way better than that stupid hood rat era that they got nowadays.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's my era. The 90s was
I was
I
born in the 90s.
yeah, I witnessed a lot of violence at that time. I lost some good friends at that time, and I was a little kid. I was, in '93, I was only 13, but I saw and experienced so much. And by the time I was 16, I mean, it was, the whole gangster culture was in full swing.
Hmm.
And I was never
Yeah.
anything like that. But, when you're living in the middle of it, it touches you one way or another.
Yeah. No, I know about that, man. I'm from a Toa country, man. That's just pure battle down there. Pretty much the freaking.
Whole nother level.
Well, there, yeah. Pretty much the gangsters control the streets, they control the government down there, man.
Yeah, that's on a whole nother level, man. You're talking like guerrilla
You eat,
armies and narco.
yeah.
Yeah,
Out there, you're either a wolf or you a sheep. There's no in between.
yeah. I'm glad I'm here. I'm here. I'm from. So I'm broadcasting from Pueblo, Colorado, United States.
Pueblo,
Yep.
Pueblo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
All right. So anyhow, I don't know what else you got going on here, but um the name of this poem, this rap poem, is called "Dope Game." It's time to lock and load. Reach down and grab a hold. I'm hitting barbed wire fences, man, it's ripping my clothes. The night can be so cold. Young, ignorant, but bold. I'm making shady deals, my parents are getting too damn old. Breaking their backs and soul. I must help lighten load. Packing weapons, weighing ounces, man, it's out of control. How could life be so cold? Living cost me my soul. This concrete jungle scarred me, then turned my heart to stone. But I must push it home. Storm these streets all alone. Casualties all around me. Judge, please excuse my tone. But I got that shiny chrome, muzzles pressed to your dome. Old broke pushing shopping carts is something I can't condone. So I look to inject the game, pump it straight to my vein. It travels through my brain, jewelry finds me insane. I've traveled the fast lane, gunned it through all the pain. But was it worth it, man? For that almighty king. That's that piece, man.
Phew. You know, I got one you might like. Well, I don't know how much it pertains to that, but I got one I think you're gonna like if you want to hear it.
No doubt, man.
All right, this one's called "Enemies of the Past." I might have let myself get buried, but when I opened my eyes, I got out and I hurried. I wasn't gonna be buried alive, not with lies, not without a fight. So I took the dive. No one was gonna stand for me, so I took the stand to stand for what is right. I tried to hide it for a while. The fact that I walked the endless mile. Didn't want to be seen as weak. But now I wear it proudly. I am no sheep. I say it loudly. It's no time to sleep. Because I know it made me stronger in the time that went on longer. That even the foundation of hell itself, when it felt like hell. That even hell's gates wouldn't hold me in because I never fell. So why would I stay held down where I've been? When I have a story to tell. When I had a life to take charge and own. That's why I proudly yell. That I am the man who took the stand and rang that bell. Since then, that's how I'm known. To never be unknown. That's my throne and I have grown. I am made of stone. It's how I've saved lives. From dangers they couldn't survive. I put myself at risk to help others. But I didn't feel a risk, and that's what bothers. Because those who pointed guns in my face trying to slay my fear only trembled the closer I paced when I got near, right up to them while they shed a tear, nose to nose, staring into their eyes, whispering in their ear, with the only words from me they would hear, being what it really implies in saying, I dare you to do it. And what happens next, you will never know what is about to hit because it's the last time you will live with the fire you have lit. Because it's your time to go, not mine. And what you ask is what I give. You are out of time. And that is all you need to know. And you will burn to the last bit. I'll make sure of it. Because you asked if I was ready to die. So it's you who really says goodbye. And I don't care why, but it's you who will really beg and cry not to die. That's no lie. That's the promise, I reply. Because my life is not yours to deny. And now you have unleashed the beast and it's time to feast at the very least. You are the blast from the past that won't last. Nothing but a pest, so I put you to rest. Enemies of the past. You just mentioned the gun thing on that, and I'm like, oh, I got the gun one in here.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I like that.
This one goes together with another one actually. Have you heard me do the regrowth one?
No, man. This dude, like I said, man, I just discovered you. You know, I got recommended by Crystal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and like,
that's why I sent you a message.
Invite on there. I was all right. I dropped everything else I was doing, man. I'm visiting my parents right now, so I was just like, let me hop on here and check this out, man. You know. But
yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Well, you know what? Since I did that one, I gotta show you the one that goes with it.
Yeah.
And this one is well, there's another one that kind of goes. It's supposed to go before all these, but
Uh,
anyways, this one's called regrowth.
all right.
At times, I used to feel like I was going insane in the membrane when I felt like I was not worth the same gain that everyone else gets to obtain. But it made me lose my damn brain because I am not allowed to feel the pain because someone else was always the main. And even if I try to explain why I felt the need to complain, I was reminded that I was a meal served plain. And thinking I was worth more just meant I was total insane, even though I know that I am sane. I just feel like that is really lame. But I won't play the damn game. I won't put myself to that shame. See, you and I are not the same. Because I won't let anyone knock me down like before. I'm growing stronger every day forevermore. I'm raising high to the sky, and I'm ready to soar. And do you think you can look down on me from the floor? Nah. Whatever power you have, I devour. Because you're still a seed and I am a flower. You're underneath and I am a tower. Because I'm growing up instead of being a coward. You stayed underground and I turned around. I am not bound to the way you are now. I am not a clown and I have no reason to frown. My life is my town and I am the one with a crown. That's how it is now. No more fucking around. Yeah.
I like that. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, man. You have
Yeah.
those posted on your. You have those posted on your page. You have.
I don't
like
have that. Well, I have a link on my Instagram,
Uh,
and if you go to my blog, that has most of my poetry on there. On Instagram, I mostly do quotes and stuff like that,
right.
but here and there, I do try to page out a bunch of pieces out, and like I got a few things. Like there's this one piece, the original. I call it the original because it's one of the first things that got me known as spoken word.
Uh,
You know, and and then that's what started everything else. So everything built from there.
okay.
And yeah, I have this one piece. You know how you're talking about the rap one?
Hmm.
I had this one piece that when I was younger, I was trying to make a rap out of it. Oh, sorry, I just seen a. Um, but yeah, I was trying to make a rap out of this one piece, and then I wasn't really what's the word? Satisfied. I wasn't really satisfied with what I was accomplishing with it.
Right.
So, I just kind of left it alone. And then later in life now, when I've started writing and doing my poetry thing, I ended up kind of bringing that back and I just put it in poet form. But originally it was a poem that I was trying to write, and it was about individuality. I don't know. I'll spit you out two things
Yeah.
if you want.
Yes.
All right.
Individuality, man. Yeah. Let's hear it. And I got one more too to
Wow.
give, but it's not a rap. It's one of my. It's one of my more deeper ones. One of my first ones that I wrote.
All right. Word. All right. Oh, this is this one I wrote the first rough draft of it like years ago, but it was just kind of a simple thing. I have ideas to change it up, but I'm not gonna because it's just it's been for so long that I want to keep it original. But this one, it's got a long title. It's called "Individuality Shows True Integrity." It's your destiny, who you're meant to be, that sets you free. See, we forgot about individuality. We are in unity. But who is me? What am I supposed to be? You just see me characterly because you only see directly, but life is infinity. We all need to find our own divinity, take ourselves seriously, see the world curiously to find our own discovery definitively of who we are meant to be visibly and indefinitely. We need to open our eyes just to realize all the lies in disguise and break apart the ties and binds. See, there is no more need for war and sacrifice. So put down your guns and knives, go home to your kids and wives and live your lives. You don't need to compromise. Just be humble and wise and live your life to your own demise. Life is not a game. It's not about fame. It's about finding your place in the world where you will remain, owning every bit of it to the last grain. It's where we make our name. We need to be ourselves, not the same. And quit thinking about who to blame. That is really just pretty lame. And it really is just plain insane. See, if life is the fireplace, then we are the flame. So we need to ignite our light and let it shine bright, farther than a flashlight, and let it take flight past the night, higher than any kite, and out of sight, farther than what we thought we might. Because this ain't no fairy tale. So we need to fight with all our might, just like a noble knight, stand for what is right, and we will be all right. Because being who we are is our human right. So quit living life like a copyright, no matter how hard it is to recondite. We need to be ourselves. Show the world our own smite, no matter what despite, and show our delight so they can see how big we can bite to indict our life and have no fright of being a spotlight by being yourself without finite to be infinite. Get what I'm saying? Or do I need to recite?
Dude, that's my favorite one, man. That was definitely my favorite one, dog. That was on point. I love that.
Yeah, this is the one I was trying to rap.
That's my favorite one. I like that one, man. I love
Forgot
that
about individuality. We are in unity, but who is me? What am I supposed to be? You just see me correctly because you only see directly, but life is infinity. We all need to find our own divinity, take ourselves seriously, see the world curiously to find our own discovery, definitively, of who we are meant to be, visibly and indefinitely. We need to open our eyes just to realize all the lies disguised and break apart the ties and binds. See, there is no more need for war and sacrifice. So put down your guns and knives, go home to your keys and wives and live your lives. You don't need to compromise. Just be humble and wise and live life to your own demise. See, life is not a game. It's not about fame. It's about finding your place in the world where we will remain and owning every bit of it to the last grain. It's where we make our name. We need to be ourselves and not the same and quit thinking about the blame. Yeah. But yeah.
You know what, man? That sounded, I mean, that was good, slow and fast as well. That one is definitely, I think, your most diverse one, or not diverse, but you could do it both ways.
Yeah. Well, I got another one too that's kind of like that. But the one I called the original.
Yeah.
The one I called the original. I know I could do it faster. It's just I know the way I wrote it, the way I thought it up when I wrote it.
Yeah.
It's not that fast, but I do change it up a little bit in there.
Let me ask you this, man. Can you recommend or something, man? Because I don't even, you know what? I need to get what's that? Not Microsoft out Word. I need to get Word on my computer. I'm ghetto, man. I don't even have that crap. Like all my poems I've been writing down, like straight up, bro. This is all my poems, man. This is it right here. Like it's just page after page after page after page. It's just nonsense.
Yeah, I used to.
About 10 pages later, you know, I get maybe 5 or 6 paragraphs out of it. So I definitely need to streamline it. If anybody out there, watching, they can.
How good are you with computers?
I'm pretty good. I'm
okay,
so familiar with them. I'm getting around.
So then you can do what I did. I don't know shit about. I didn't even know what. I didn't have it running water or electricity till I was 6 years old, and I didn't even know what video games were till I was 13. But I hate computers. Honestly, I hate computers. Yeah. But I love poetry so much that I did this, and I built a website. I don't know if you heard of Wix.
Nah.
Wix site. So it's a free. It's a free website builder, and that's what I did. Is I went on there. Yeah, Wix site, I think. Yeah, Wix.com website builder. So I created my own blog off of there. So they have the free version, right? And you have certain limitations and whatever, but it's really easy, especially if you have the phone app. I found it easier on the phone, honestly.
I've been doing everything on my phone too.
Yeah, I even do my designs and everything on my phone too. But yeah, Wix and they make a real simplistic to design your website, and that's what I did. And so the writing platform on there is not bad. I actually really like that. But Word actually has the online version, so you don't have to pay for the download.
Okay.
So you can use a free online version. So as long as you have a system that's fast enough to process it,
right?
Yeah, you can use the Word online, and it'll. Oh, there she goes, wild.com website builder. So there's another one.
Boom. All right.
But there's another one. Yeah, there's a few.
Thanks, Paul.
You could even go to namecheap.com. They got a good one too. But I'm gonna do this one for you, and then I want to hear your last one or whatever more you got.
Yeah.
And then depending on if we got more people in the queue or not, we'll see what happens after that. But this one I call it the original. It's where I stand, the man I am, on my land. I'll never give up on someone who's feeling gone. But when I feel like it, I'm left to deal alone and said to be the toxic misfit, like if I'm just a stone. Easy for them to quit and stay out of my zone because I'm just a hypocrite for feeling the pain to the bone because they can't admit the same pain they have also known. So they will rather threat to split than to be someone grown and make me out to be unfit. So I am overthrown. And I can't even acquit or try to atone just because they don't permit and don't condone and only omit and stay overblown. Instead of trying to submit or lose the verbal tone. And instead of trying to knit the slit of pain needed to be sewn, they take the drill bit and go way overblown. When I just want to remit and go back to my throne. But then again, I am hit with the overtone. I'm reminded of being a misfit and that I am prone to never refit without a grindstone. So I take the hit bit by bit till my spit spirit is gone with my wit and I get spit right on my grit till you see my obit. Now I've been shown my capstone that I'm just alone, easy to disown, always unpostponed, worth nothing more than a groan and made to dethrone. And apart, I'm blown like I am as brittle as a freestone. And then unbeknown. But I do know where I'm homegrown, and I'm a milestone away from my headstone, my grave, and I will not be a slave to how I'm expected to behave. It's who I am worth that's worth to save, and I will be brave, and I will never cave. After everything I gave, I will conclave, and you will feel my shockwave. And I will never degrade, and I will engrave and pave my rave. It's time for a new wave. After everything I gave, time to be a threat like a heat wave. I'm the autoclave, hotter than a microwave to any who misbehave. I'm a furious Dave. Those who want to enslave the love I gave and save anyone unhappy with what I gave is an architrave you will mold away as I enjoy the day that I chose to walk away, not to stay, and I found my way to find my own gateway, and I will not delay or let myself decay. I will never stray from my pathway until I fade away or reach my judgment day. This is all I have to say with this wordplay. My enemies will not overstay. It's doomsday and I will slay. The rest will stay away at bay and be nothing but a memory of yesterday. You better be a runaway when I display my array that my life is my Broadway, and I have no dismay in who I display because my Lord's side is where I lay and exactly where I am to stay.
So when you're writing these, because I know when I'm writing sometimes, music is a big trigger for me. And so they're like, I mean, just any music period doesn't matter. And usually when I start writing, there's something that's triggering me in that note or that song. I mean, sometimes I'll have a song on repeat and it just plays over and over and over again. And I'm like, I'm just getting such a vibe from that song. That's where the words start coming out.
For me, it's all about feeling. And when I do these, like this one, when I wrote it out, this one, I sat on it for a while. And I just kept reciting it over and over and over and over again. And see, I'm pretty patient with my touching pieces because, see, I can easily quickly go out and write out something. But there's so much stuff held in. You know, I have this problem with bottling shit in. So I'm bottling so much shit in that I don't get to fully express my first time out. So if I'm patient with myself, you know, give it a couple times. Sometimes I'll write something out, just a short something. Like this one poem I wrote, just a couple little sentences wrote out. And then I sat on it for like a week or two. I look at it, nothing. And one day I looked at it and just bam. I had the inspiration. And just next thing you know, I had a fucking 2-3 page thing going on. But like, yeah, it's all about the patience. It's all about being in the right feeling for me, in the right situation in life to be able to put what I want to put in the paper,
Yeah.
so to say. Yeah, like, I know there's a lot of peoples out there who can just write, and they'll
Yeah.
just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. I don't write a new poem that often, but when I do have something new, it seems to kind of impact somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
But it just comes from such a deeper part of me, and like even if people don't understand, a lot of the stuff I have like that first one I did, lyrically, poetically, murderously made to be. There's a very hidden message in that.
Dude,
Very
I
hidden
want to
message.
see. I want to read those lyrics, Holmes. I want to check that out, man. So, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, man. Yeah, you can.
those two. I definitely like to check those out, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. I got a lot of things on here. I was on this live last night. I did my first erotica poem, and I
Oh,
wrote,
I
I
got one, but I
rewrote.
haven't posted it yet, dog. It's like
Oh
good
shit.
content, but my friends are reading it. They're like, "Bro, this shit's fucking off the
Oh
hook,
man.
man." I'm like,
See, that's
I
what I
might
was.
get banned.
No, you won't get banned on it. If you go to an erotica site or on my somebody's talking to me, or on my show here, no, nobody's getting banned. There's actually these shows, these platforms. Every certain day of the week, they do an erotica night. So yesterday, there's this show called The Grapevine on their Instagram,
Yeah,
and they do an erotica night every Saturday night. It's kind of a late
grapevine.
night. Yeah, the grape something. I can send you the info after. But yeah, they do an erotica night every Saturday night. And anyways, this poem I rewrote it 3 times. The first time I was drunk as fuck. Somebody was giving me a timeline, so I ended up just quickly typing something out. They loved it. And then after that was done, I ended up typing it out again, making it a little bit better. I did it for someone else. After that, I ended up doing it a third time. Typed it out even better, and I made it long. I made it long as fuck. And then next thing you know, this girl's aroused and feeling it, and I was like, damn, you know what? That's what I was trying to do. And see, at first I was kind of shy about it. I was a little bit holding back because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure of myself in a way because exactly what you're saying, exactly what you're saying is the erotica thing. You're kind of like, oh shit, am I going to be banned? Someone's going to look at me weird or whatever, right? But no, with the poetry thing, that's a whole theme. That's a whole theme. A lot of fucking platforms are making a whole theme out of it. So
Yeah.
that is more than welcome on here, man. More than welcome.
I do have I do have something that kind of touches on the erotica thing, and like I said, I had like 10 pages written out, but then there was a few paragraphs that stuck out in my latest poem that I just put out. I only have a few out there. I don't got, I got like what?
You're next, Marianne.
I got a few
Sorry.
on my thing, but that last poem I have is called Operator. And
Operator.
yeah, and it's kind of touches on the erotic note.
Oh, okay.
But
Nice,
anyhow,
nice.
I'll leave you with this to get the next person in the chamber. But this was a poem that I wrote for my father. Um, and this is an ode to our, he's a Marine Corps veteran. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and this is touching on um, our Native American lineage and our
Hoorah.
both of us being hurrah, and both of us being not only father and son, but blood brothers in the
Brothers in
Marine.
Arms.
So the name of this poem is called Thunderbird.
That's a good movie.
All right. Ancient Thunderbird, Milky Way expanse, soaring across astral planes, performing ancient ceremonial dance. He journeys deeper into the cosmic mist, a dead warrior in his talons, the invader did not miss. In an instant conjoined to the flames of a burning star, together they dance into the Milky Way expanse. That.
Whew. The Milky Way expanse, man. Talking about the clouds or what?
When I was a little kid, man, the first time my father took me, we were in the Western Slopes. We were up in the mountains, and I remember the first time stepping out, and it was really my first time being away from the city, and there wasn't so much of the light pollution. And I remember stepping out of the vehicle and just looking at this long expanse of just stars and planets, and I just remember being so deeply touched by what I saw, and just I had never seen starlight so clear, and it occurred to me that that's what our ancestors saw. That's what that's what our people, anybody's people, going back. That's what they saw, man. We didn't have all this light pollution. We didn't have all this noise pollution, man. It was the purest form of the face of God that I had experienced in my life. And I knew I had to put that into words somehow. And honestly, man, it's kind of a new poem, and I may not have even put all the words in it correctly, but I have the original poem on my page, and but yeah, man, that was deep from my heart.
That's one thing about poetry, man. Somebody expressed this with me. A lot of poets, when they write something out, they'll leave it. Whether they have mistakes in it or not, they'll just leave it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with that, when it comes straight from the heart, that's just it right there. That's it right there. And I got poems like that too, man. When it comes from the heart, when you're pure with it, doesn't matter if it's short, long, messed up or not, swiggling around, not really lining up. Because if it lines up in your heart, and your soul, and your spirit, that's all that matters. Because it's going to line up with somebody else too.
No doubt.
And I was going to add, I'm actually a private first class in the Navy.
Wow, bro.
But that's nothing. That's like the bottom of the barrel. I started, but I never finished because it was kind of a program that I was in. But then I never ended up continuing.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to be in the military. I wanted to be an infantry soldier. And the only option I had left due to a minimal space was the Navy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I joined it. It wasn't really my thing because we didn't get to do no shoot. We didn't get to do no shit. All we did was float around on a boat. And I was like, what the fuck? the fuck am I gonna do a boat? And you gotta blow up doll and a fucking shotgun. Like, yeah, shit. The kind of Canadian fucking army is kind of a joke in a way.
Man, I met he didn't finish. He ended up not making it, but I met a really cool dude, man. He was from Canada, and he was French Canadian.
Oh, le français.
Yeah, and he
Bonjour.
was a cool dude, man. I wish I'd been able to stay, but in those days, we didn't have Facebook and MySpace, and YouTube, and whatever, whatnot. But yeah, I always. Interestingly enough, when they were gonna send him home, he got injured, he couldn't make it. I wrote a poem for him, and he had his bag, and when he was, checking out and doing his stuff, I went and opened his bag and I slipped it in his all his gear in his sea bag. So I know he didn't find it until he got to wherever he was going, and his home was in Canada. So I know he flew back to Canada from the U.S. and found that. And, I always wonder, man. I wonder if he still has it.
I bet you he does somewhere, man. Yeah. That's one thing about the brothers in arms. Yeah. They keep letters. They keep letters because it's the only thing they can take with them.
Yeah.
Right? They don't got no devices when they're out in the field.
No.
They got they got the communications officer with the satellite radio, but that's it. Nobody's got a cell phone. No. You get a satellite connection at the camp, but that's about it.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you got a satellite link.
If you're lucky, yeah. Oh. And then everyone gets like Everyone gets like a 10-minute time frame to fucking, cycle through. Some of them don't get to cycle through for months.
Yeah, I just buried my godfather. My
Sorry,
great
man.
thanks, man. And when I found out that my aunt Judy had died, not that I found out my Judy had died, but I found out my grandmother had passed almost 2 weeks after they died because I was in country, I was in Iraq. So, I got back, I was able to, get on the computer and just kind of check, see what's going on back at home. And, it was a double whammy. So I knew I had to put something together, and I wrote a poem and I read it at his eulogy, and, it made up for it in my heart, you know?
Yeah. Well, you probably not old enough. You weren't stationed anywhere during 9/11, were you?
No, I was, so 9/11 happened. So I didn't go in December 17th of 2002.
Mm, okay. I worked for this guy. So he was a sharpshooter for the Canadian military. He was stationed at a peacekeeping mission. You know that town that blew up after 9/11?
No.
They blamed, well, after 9/11, they quickly blamed the weaponry coming from a certain town
Mm.
in the Middle East, and they blew it up. U.S. blew it up.
Mm.
But I heard some sad shit, brother.
Wow.
My buddy said he was stationed there, and that was a peacekeeping mission. So it was actually, how's it going, Vivian? It was actually refugee town. So it was all friendlies there. They were actually protecting those people. But they needed to pin the blame on somebody, and they didn't want to start a war with the country. So they blew up the people they were protecting. Innocent women and children.
Mm.
That's what I heard anyway. That's how fucked
Oh,
up the fucking government is.
government. That's the key word, the government. Oh,
I I got a piece on the government actually. Kind of the government, yeah. It's called what was it called again? Let me see here. It's called Humanity's Resurrection. It's a quick one. You want to hear it?
yeah, here, man. Spit it.
I'm working on one called Corona. It's not finished yet, but eventually,
We all
eventually,
got a corona one.
that's what I was noticing. A lot of people had. How's it going? How's it going? You the use fuck me. I don't know how to say that name, but anyways, yeah, I got a Corona one I'm working on. I'm gonna release eventually, but this one's called Humanity's Resurrection. This I can feel. I love the conversation. It's what is real. It's a devastation so surreal, the way this generation has to deal with more complication, more misdeal, without communication to seal, having no relation to share a meal, together as a nation, and appeal for our congregation. They try to steal, handing us our damnation to try to make us squeal. Just don't forget our conservation and never kneel to a man's creation, so we reveal our dedication to really heal with demonstration to a kneel. Our preservation and never conceal. Our predetermination we repeal as our obligation for our ordeal for reclamation with endless spiel until affirmation has certification with authentication for rehumanization, glorification, and humanity's recreation as one nation without contemplation, no question, in the implication for humanation, resurrection.
Nice. I like that, Paul. I like that, man. You said your longer ones, they're not on Instagram. You got them posted somewhere else.
Yeah, I got the longer ones. I try to post a couple on them there, but like I got this one. It's called A Life in Mind. I think that's my longest one. I'm pretty sure. And that one's it's about me, but it's a story about a man who wants love, he wants life, he wants to He wants to save humanity with love. And he doesn't care if he's going to be a stepdad, but all he wants to do is create a future for children around love.
Yeah.
I'll read it out if you want.
Spit it, man.
Uh,
And
This one's called.
I'll leave you with one more. I'll leave you with a sneak peek of what I got coming out right now. I got invited to poetry, one of the poetry contests.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm sure, and we only got a couple people on here, but I saw
How's
some
it
of the
going,
other
brushstroke?
individuals on there, and it was proceed with caution was the prompt. But
Ooh.
yeah, but let's hear
All
yours.
right. All right. So this one's called A Life in Mind. I don't get to see you. I don't get to hear you or feel you. I don't even get a say. But my feelings only get stronger every single day that I keep holding on longer because even though you are so far away, my heart is there to stay. And wherever you are is where I will go because without you, there leaves nothing more to know. And loving you is what I cannot betray and why I will never astray. If only loving me was something that your heart could say. If I'd be who you choose without dismay, then right by your side is where my purpose would lay. With nothing but pride and without any delay. Because together we will rise to ride with the roads open wide, and when our hearts collide, we will stay alive and not just survive, but we will thrive when we take the dive into each other and coincide. And when together we reside to be how we choose to abide. So in each other we can confide, so that the ropes and chains may be untied, so we never end up in a bind and never ever again subdivide or feel like there is something that we have to hide. When together as one, we are allied to raise sons and daughters and be relied, so anything they need can be supplied, especially with the love that we have implied. So they'll always be surrounded by a love that won't be denied. Because although it may be other men who subside, other men that gave them means to arrive and be alive, it's them I want a good life for, to provide. And for them, everything must be defied, because it's them who need me to be the right guide. So that when they walk, they stride, being full of genuine pride for having mommy and I right by their side. Exactly as what was meant to be, exactly what has been inscribed. So they live a life free for them to be who they want to be, because they deserve much more than I've devised, and they will soon surpass all that I've advised. That is what I've compiled, because I just want them to be uncompromised. And we will ratify living in our own paradise wherever we will have occupied, and be far past satisfied with all that we have already gratified, building a life and a family unified. As our lives continue to beautify, knowing our lives were greatly utilized, and knowing through the kids our teachings would be magnified, and will be centralized to try to modernize true love with the rest of humankind. Before love is lost or brutalized, stored away and archived, and before we become unhumanized. And make sure it's not left forgotten or undefined, because love is what I identify as the only thing that will be able to purify and justify human life so that humanity can survive. Because the world will need to revolutionize so humanity again can be glorified and be dignified, to be reunified and rehumanized. Because the love we pass on is the only way to make sure it will arrive. Because love is not nullified. Because people have become so pacified, which they don't realize that without love, humanity is genocide. Because love is what clarified to humanity being purified, and what did define humanity to be set aside and not like an animal typified. Humanity was how we identified the ability to process thoughts in our brains that unified with a heart and soul able to love and grow our human side. It's what placed us above animal life, advancing the world, learning things once unidentified. This is our human side. Having curiosity and fearlessly heightened velocity that flew us right past every prophecy, which only took away our humility, the very ability of our sight and visibility to notice our instability of a human race as a liability. So So let's not forget our agility for civility and find our own tranquility to correctively create our own sustainability, to chase our own destiny through our own humanity for the sensibility of our own family with the possibility of expandability and reproducibility, with the responsibility of companionability and the quantifiability of our compatibility and a viability for tangibility